Yay! Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Hi. Yeah, this is scrolling TV, I know. Mostly because I can't get my thingy to work. I'm trying to stream on something else and I can't get it to stream. So that's fun. Anyway, for those of you just tuning in, um, hopefully Twitch will be joining with me shortly. It's a goal. It's good to have goals. Be interesting. Oh, there we go. Not really sure why that happened. Okay, sorry. Now we are really, really ready to go. I apologize, YouTube people. Okay, I'm back. I'm ready. That's the problem with simulcasting, is that sometimes things get a little bit problematic. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to kind of touch base and say hi to everybody. I'm sorry I wasn't there last night. Just was well. I'm feeling better now. Just a number of different things. Anyway, and I fell into what I always fall into, which, I wasn't feeling well last night and I didn't even stream, but I still dragged myself over to the computer in order to try and get some writing in. Was that a good idea? I don't think it was a good idea, but I was just I felt the need to do it anyway, to do some writing anyway, just get like a little bit in, which at the end of the day was not the best idea. So tonight I'm also taking it easy because I'm still not 100%, but I'm going to get a little bit done, and that's going to be okay. I want to be driven. However, I know that I'll push myself too hard and I'll burn out, so I'm tempering that. And that's the way it always should be. If you are not 100%, don't push yourself. Your art is not worth your life. End of story. End of story. You may be very, very dedicated to your profession, and I consider any type of art profession. Um, even if you're just doing it as a hobby, whatever, it's not worth it to push yourself, especially pushing yourself while you're not 100%. It's on so many levels. Like, if it's writing, your stories are going to be so much better if you've taken that time to rest yourself. And Janowrimo be damned. Yes, I went there. Um, I won't compromise my health. However, so having said that, though, I will talk about what I wrote yesterday, which was really kind of interesting because I went, I was supposed to be writing one specific scene. It's the scene where like the main character gets captured. And instead, I wrote an entirely different scene in that area, which is perfect. Like, it's a scene that I wanted to write, but and it has been evolving as it went. However, it wasn't supposed to take place that I wasn't really sure where it was going to fit. I knew it needed to fit in the story somewhere, but it went there, and so now I have to try and create another little because I'm doing it Scrivener, so I have everything in scene blocks, and yeah, that happened. So it was funny because when I started the story, I knew that I had, actually I can remember this time. I started off with 9 basic scenes, and I was worried because I'm like, oh no, this is not going to work. So I reviewed it and I broke it out because I'm like, oh yeah, there's more there, and I actually built it up quite a bit because I mean, scenes being like a very small section of the story, so not like chapters. Don't think these are chapters. And that's why scene 9 scenes is concerning because 9 scenes could be chapters, and I think they kind of were ish. Um, so then I broke out everything much more carefully, and I could only come up with 48. And I'm like, oh no, 48. What am I gonna do? Like, I want this story to have a certain size. Like, the ideal is like 50 and up. I realize that I'm only going for 25,000 this month, but we'll see how that works because I think it's probably gonna, like, I'm pretty sure my word count is gonna be around. Well, if I keep on having nights like yesterday and what's probably gonna end up happening today, I'm gonna be hard pressed to make a miraculous 50,000. Although I'd love that. Like if I can get 50,000, if I can get 50,000 this month, I'm so happy. But my brain tells me it's not meant to be, only because I think 25,000 is gonna be my average, which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to see how much I can write to the detriment. I'm trying to do this as like I put a goal so I have something to shoot for, but I need to see what a realistic word count is for me right now while working a day job and also while doing, because for those of you who are on YouTube, you wouldn't necessarily know, but I was doing some streaming earlier, and yeah, I was doing some streaming earlier. Hold on here. Oh, so I have a couple of questions popping up. Well, I have one question. Well, I have one question anyway. Do I do challenges? I'm doing a challenge right now. That's what the Janowrimo is. The Janowrimo is actually me trying to hit, and I know it's a really really low goal, but 25,000, because like I said, I'm trying to get that amount just because I want to try and build up a regular writing routine. I mean, had it started in November. I was getting pretty decent at like writing and pretty regular. But then December happened, and we all know December, so that kind of happened. Um, yeah, with oh my goodness, where am I at now? Yeah, so that's kind of my whole entire thing. And also this month, my challenge is to write only using a keyboard, because during NaNoWriMo, which I also did, um, I only did longhand, and I was able to get 23,000 words longhand, which sounds sad when you're talking about like typing, but I think if I was pushing myself as much, if I push myself as much in January as I did back in November, I might be able to hit a 50,000 or certainly over 25,000. So that's where I'm kind of pushing for that. Um, but I want to set the goal low and then be able to raise it as I get like to the middle of January. If I theoretically, if I'm doing super well, mid-January I would be at 25,000, and I'm like, oh well, and or even like next week, if I'm like at a significantly high goal or at a significantly high word count, I'll bump it up a bit. Right now, I'm not there because I've only had like a two days of my work day, because I work your typical, like, well, theoretically 9 to 5, but it gets busier, so sometimes it's more like, it's not 9 to 5. Okay. YouTube challenges. Yeah, I haven't done any. I'm getting like a lot of people talking in YouTube, um, which I'm sorry, Twitch, because I'm gonna have problems if you try and talk to me, because I'll have to like figure this out. I'm simulcasting, so this is kind of weird. I didn't think that through at all. I'm sorry. But I will definitely try to flip over to you if I'm able to. I don't. I will see, because I have no mod. It's just me. um, yeah. So YouTube challenges. I think I've seen some of them on other people's challenge. I'm not really familiar with a bunch of the YouTube challenges. Willing to try and take them. I'm busy doing. It depends on what the challenge is. Um, I'm kind of, I got a lot going on, so it depends on what they are. I guess I'm not really a good, I'm not a very good YouTuber, or I'm also not a very good Twitch person either. I'm sorry, everybody. I am much more of a, like, most of what I'm doing is well, for both you guys, I reading manuscripts, and then I'm popping in and giving you these Janowrimo updates. I'm not sure how many people are all listening to my stories on YouTube. That's what my main thing is. I'm kind of just video vlogging my experience with the writing, because I just kind of want to get my brain out there, and it helps when I talk it out, which I don't know if that's really helpful for anybody other than me. Um, I sound like a complete idiot in the live chat, so I'm sorry, everybody, because, oh boy, yeah. I have one person who's asking me about books, and my main books that I'm reading. Okay, so if people need to know, um, whoops. Sorry, I know this is fascinating as I'm trying to type out in the chat. I'm really, really sorry, guys. Bear with me for like 2 minutes here. Not even 2 minutes. Oh, what was the other one? Ah, ah, ah. Sorry, now I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember. Oh, I'm trying to talk about fantasy books that I've read recently. I'm just gonna say the one, uh, but that's not it, because it's the one after that. No, oh my goodness. Wow. Why? You know, at this point, if it wasn't going to be so boring for everybody, I'd go and like run and grab the books and like show them up to you guys. And I can do that. I can bring out the books that I've read recently and go over them. Most of my most of what I've been reading is been old fantasy, and like I am deeply set in the 80s. I would admit it because I was born in ancient times. Um, I admit it. I'm like at the tail, like I'm at the tail end of Gen Xers to the point where I share more commonalities with millennials. Um, so, but saying that though, I've a lot of my fantasy background and stuff that I've read a lot of kind of trails off at the end of the 80s. I took a break from reading, not on purpose, just dealing with life stuff. Um, and so I've been trying to get back into reading. And as a result, really what I'm reading right now is, as far as fantasy, I'm only talking about fantasy because I also have a tendency to read. I have a tendency to read and I listen to, if you count that, I count that, neither here nor there. Um, I am a big fan of mysteries, so I have been going through on audiobooks the ABCs of I want to say Kinsey Milhone, but that's the name of the character. Sue Grafton. Oh wow. Okay. See, there you go. And so to start off, I mean that's even old, right? And then other mysteries that I've been reading recently. I'm starting to read Georgia Hare because I want to study. Want to read things from back in the day, like from a while ago, and then kind of bring myself up to where we are now. There's a lot of books to read. There's a lot of books to catch up on. I get that, but I'm also there's like some authors I like that are recent as well. Um, there's some I have to get through some of the other books I have on my. I don't have a Kindle. I have my phone and I can't show you my phone because my phone is being used right now for you. Um, but that's where I have a bunch of my a bunch of stories or a bunch of like stuff from Kindle and from Kobo because I have a problem. My problem is I never have enough books, although my partner thinks I do. And there will be a culling. And actually, that is another thing I'm gonna be doing. You guys can kind of thrill to the excitement as I start paring down my books because there's a whole bunch of books. Like one of the things when my dad died is that one of the things that I did when my dad died was I wanted to start researching, which researching books meant reading them because that's what you do. And yeah, I started buying books right left. Like, because here's the thing, I live in the Lower Mainland, and at the time, pre-COVID, back in the good old days, um, I could go to the library and especially the Vancouver Public Library because I live in a very fortunate place where there's like a bunch of like I have a bunch of like cities I'm connected to, so I can go to pretty much any of those libraries and use my library card. So, and I use it to my advantage. Vancouver Library, they had, especially over on like the Hastings branch, they had all these books for sale. And when I say for sale, I don't mean marked off half price of what you'd normally. No, no, they'd say by donation only, and if you're so you could like give them whatever amount you wanted, like whatever. And so I managed to get some really really good books contrasting fair. Also went over to Burnaby Public Library. Burnaby Public Library also fantastic. Um, oh, actually, Yeah, because they have like book sales every once in a while. So there'd be books for 25 cents. Now, seriously. Like we're talking, okay, actually, because I'm with yeah, that is the other thing about me. I have books within like anyway. This, as you can see, I'll like show it to everybody. See, this used to be. It's like what got withdrawn. See, there's the marker showing that they actually withdrew it. I'm not stealing it. But yeah, Stephen King's On Writing. Guess how much I paid for this? I paid 25 cents for it because it was on sale on one of their book sales, and I said I was willing to give them more because it's a like a hard cover, and it's in good condition. And because one of the things about libraries buying books from libraries is that a lot of like the hardcovers are library bound books, so they're better quality. So this one's gonna last me for a really long time. But yeah, as a result, I was testing out different books because at 25 cents you can kind of experiment a lot. So I overbought books, and I have books that I know I'm not going to read, and then there's books I may read, and I have to go through all that. And when I go through all that, then I will take you guys on that journey because it'll be a fun journey. I can guarantee you. Anyway, that's completely off topic from what I was originally talking about, which was me and writing tonight, which I need to get doing because I only have a short time now. But thank you all for talking to me in the chat. I really appreciate it because I do like talking to people. So as you can tell, blah 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 blah, talking. Um, so it's great. Always feel free to tune in the chat. I kind of am thinking about. I don't want to like say it for sure, but I think this weekend I'm gonna do like a live stream of me writing, and people can join in. I'm nervous about it because I don't want to like screw it up, but I'll confirm. I'm going to confirm closer because my week has been kind of crazy. I will confirm with you. I'll post it up and you'll see it. Well, Twitch people won't see it. It's going to be a surprise for you. But YouTube people, because I can schedule my live streams, I can actually like let you know when they're going to happen. And I will post, like, I'll post it ahead of time saying it's happening. And that way everyone can kind of plan together. But I want to do it on the weekend because I'm seeing a lot of live streams and they're all for it's really great. They're great. I think there's even like evening live streams for people who are working. But I think a lot of these people are more East Coast. Like I haven't seen. I mean, that's me. I'm like pretty sheltered person, so I haven't seen many for West Coast. You know, after dinner, but not too late because you have to go to work in the morning. That's me. So I kind of want to do some of those, which are like evening and weekends. Although evenings aren't really so much a thing because, well, I do have to get writing done, so it's good. But I also other have comic projects as well, and that's not this. Although it's Twitch. No, I think I show it. Well, anyway, I will talk to you all again really soon. Yeah, I'll talk to everybody tomorrow night. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for piping up in the chat. I love to hear from you guys. And yeah, I will see everybody tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody. And if you're writing, yeah, write along. Just in time for me to stop streaming.